Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to another episode of the Manifesting Muslim Ramadan series, Aligning with Allah. My darling, I can't believe I'm going to say this. We're in the last 3 days of Ramadan. Well, I can't say that for certain because I don't know if we're going to have a 29-day Ramadan or a 30-day Ramadan. But either way, you're getting 30 episodes. So we're in the last 3 episodes of the 30-day Ramadan series at the very least. But ultimately, we're in the last little stretch here of Ramadan, regardless of how you look at it. And first of all, before I even begin saying anything else, just thank you so much for joining me on this journey on my very first Ramadan series. It's been so fun to make this series and has definitely pushed me, creatively speaking, and I really have enjoyed making this series, and I hope that you have benefited from it immensely. Coming into the last 3 episodes here, I'm going to shift ever so slightly in the conversation. I mean, still we're talking about our relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but we're going to shift it more from a perspective of Ramadan, inshallah. And I'm hoping that these next 3 episodes will give you more of a plan going forward, inshallah, to maintain what you have built over the course of Ramadan. So there's going to be a slight little shift, but inshallah, it's going to round out this series in a way that is helpful to you. All right, I'm going to stop blabbering on. Today, we are going to talk about making Ramadan a lifestyle rather than just like a seasonal mood or a seasonal vibe change. So what tends to happen for a lot of people is that they feel spiritually high during Ramadan. There's so much going on. There's a lot of sense of community. There's extra prayers, extra dhikr, extra Quran recitation. We do a little bit extra during Ramadan, which is fine, alhamdulillah. And some people do more than extra during Ramadan, more voluntary work, all sorts of stuff, okay? Challenges, giving more in charity. Alhamdulillah, may Allah reward every single one of us for doing what we're doing during Ramadan, and accept our fast and ibadah during the month of Ramadan, inshallah. But in this month, what tends to happen, because a lot of people are sort of like pushing extra during Ramadan, is that they feel so spiritually high. They're like, I'm so connected, I feel so good, I'm on a high, I'm like, yay, this is happening. And then very shortly after Ramadan, something happens for a lot of people. And for some people, it's like very dramatic sort of post-Ramadan depression. Many people feel down, many people feel low. There's quite often I was going to say a slow return, but it actually kind of happens really fast, a fast return to old habits. So we stop praying sunnah prayers. Maybe we don't recite our Quran as often. Where maybe instead of waking up for Fajr, maybe we're like, I'll wait till I wake up in the morning rather than waking up for Fajr. But like there's a lot of things suddenly that it's like slowly but surely like tapering back out again after Ramadan. And it's quite unfortunate in that sense, because I mean, I'm not going to go into it because I'll probably get cancelled for my opinions on it, but I've tried to sort of voice them before. You know what, that's a discussion for another day. But the point is that a lot of people are living sort of within their faith in Ramadan, and that is kind of the time of year when that happens, and then it's back to normal again, as if Allah is only close to us during Ramadan. It's almost like this mindset of like, that is the only time a year that Allah is going to forgive my sins, that Allah is going to reward me for my efforts, and so on and so forth, and that the rest of the year isn't also still very much valid. Now, whether or not that is your specific opinion or mindset, that's not what we're talking about. It's just that so you understand the framework here, what we're working with, okay? The point is that we shouldn't have this mindset around Ramadan. Ramadan is a beautiful, holy time. It's a blessed month. And yes, alhamdulillah, Allah has graced us with more mercy, more forgiveness, more rewards during this month. But that is not to cancel out the rest of the months. Ramadan, in many ways, we should try and look at it as sort of the role model month for the rest of the months of our year. We should look at the month of Ramadan as, this is what is available to me. This is what I can do for the rest of the year, which is why I personally, and you do not have to agree with this statement whatsoever, this is just my personal opinion, which is why I'm of the opinion that we shouldn't go, excuse my French here, but tennis balls to the walls during Ramadan. We should do stuff that are maintainable, because we need to see it as a month of adding more, so that we can take it with us after the month of Ramadan to sort of like continue that grow and that spiritual high during the rest of the year as well, and not just during Ramadan. Again, just my personal opinion, you absolutely do not have to agree with it, and you can do it however you want to. That is just how I do the things, okay? But the point is that we shouldn't see Ramadan as just like a temporary spiritual boost. We should see it as almost like a training ground for our daily life outside of Ramadan. We should see it as like, oh, this is available to me. This is what I am capable of. I can do this if I prioritize it, if I set aside the time. Which is why when I say, when we go really, really hard, that's not maintainable for anyone. Yeah, it's for 30 days. But then after that, there's that huge crash because we can't sustain. So if we build it up gradually, then it becomes easier for us even after Ramadan to do those things, to maintain those habits. And then year after year, inshallah, if Allah allows us that time, we build upon it, right? And now Ramadan is not just like a temporary thing. It is just like the reset almost of like, now we take another look. What can I add? What can I add? Okay. It's not meant to be seasonal. Islam is not a seasonal thing. Faith is not a seasonal thing. It's an all year thing. It should exist all the time. Our willingness to speak to Allah every day, to pray extra prayers when we have the time and energy for it, to make extra dhikr, to recite our Quran, all of those things are not seasonal. And when we come into Ramadan almost with this mindset of like, oh, it's just for 30 days and then I can go back to my normal again, that makes it seasonal. That makes Islam seasonal. That makes, probably worst of all, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala seasonal. He's not Santa Claus. He doesn't just exist 1 month of the year. He is there all the time. So we shouldn't think of it as like, now is my time to move closer to Allah. I had a friend that I don't speak to anymore who said to me once, like, oh, I really want to pray. Like, I feel really far away from Allah. I really want to pray. And I was like, go pray. Like, what are you talking about? Go pray. This is the prayer mat's right over there. You can go make wudu and go pray. And he said, oh no, I'm going to wait till Ramadan. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to laugh. But the whole structure of that mindset, that idea was so ludicrous to me, because I was like, but Allah is not just available over the course of Ramadan. He's available now. And if you need him now, go pray now. And he was sort of like, yeah, no, I'm going to do it for Ramadan. I'm more in the headspace during Ramadan. And that really woke something up in me, because before that it was sort of like a theory of mine almost, but now it was also sort of confirmed to me. And I've since then also seen and heard from a lot of more people, because since then I've started Manifesting Muslim and I've had a lot of conversations with a lot of you. And I've noticed that this is a very common mindset of like, I'm going to wait till Ramadan to do this thing, or, almost sort of like as if Allah is not ready and available to you now, right now, at any moment. It doesn't have to be Ramadan. You can do all of those things outside of Ramadan, and you don't have to wait for the extra rewards to do it. It's the intention, the sincerity that matters, and that is what Allah is looking for. And yeah, so it was just sort of, it was a very, it was the first time I really had like that statement sort of served to me in that way. And it made me a little sad, and it makes me a little sad for everyone who has that mindset, because of course you're going to feel far away from Allah if you're only approaching him one time of year with sincerity and with eagerness. You should approach him every day of the year with that same eagerness and sincerity. Think of it again, as I said, like what you do over the course of Ramadan, you want to see how much of that you can take with you throughout the rest of the year. See how much of it you can continue to do in small, consistent acts throughout the rest of the year. It doesn't have to be this intense run. It's a marathon, not a sprint kind of thing, right? So I want you to think of Ramadan as a transition to your everyday life, everyday faith, everyday connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It doesn't start and stop with Ramadan. It just enhances, it boosts, but it doesn't start and stop there. So in tomorrow's episode, inshallah, we're going to talk about some of the changes that you can, inshallah, take with you, some of the little things that you can consider moving on with from this Ramadan and to the rest of the year, inshallah. So I hope I'll see you in tomorrow's episode. But until then, my darling friend, please don't forget to live in love.